Alright, the next set of tutorials is going to guide you through a step-by-step procedure on how to create a retail store, specifically this floor plan right here. Okay, so this is for International Academy of Design's ID 201 class, where your studio focuses on creating a retail space of an existing building along Queen Street in Toronto. So here is the floor plan of this space. You'll see that there's a ground floor, and then there's also a lower level floor plan. Okay, those are the two levels that we're going to concentrate on. There's also a upper level that is above the ground floor plan. That is a apartment. Okay, we're not going to design that apartment, but we are going to build the structure for it so that it appears in our sketch. Alright, so what I'd like to do is when I create these multiple floor plans, what I like to do is I like to first create them as separate floors that are all resting on the ground, and then I only, once the design is completed, as well as all the furniture and all other aspects of that floor have been completed, only at that time, and perhaps I might not even want to, but at that time might be the time in which you stack them or put them on top of each other. Okay, but for now, I'm going to want to the basics of this is I want to be able to create the structure of the building, as well as being able to design the inside of the building eventually. Okay, so I'm going to start by creating all three floors all along the same plane. Okay, so you can see that the outline of this build is 61 feet 2.5 inches by 27 feet 8 inches. So let's start by just drawing that floor. Okay, so to do that, I like to use the line command. You can use the rectangle command if you like as well. Okay, but I'm going to click here. I'm going to start it, let's say, right here. And I'm going to go along the green axis, and I'm going to type 61 feet 2.5 inches. There we go. And then I'm going to go along the red, and it was 27 feet 8 inches. There we go. I'm going to zoom out a bit. Okay, and then I'm going to infer from this point along the red until I hit my green. There's my green, there's my red. I'll click here, and then lastly I'll go back and close it off. Okay, so you can see there. Now I'm going to double check those distances. So 61 2.5 and 27 8. And I'm going to double check in SketchUp. Okay, there's 61 2.5 as well as 27 foot 8. Okay, great. Okay, so I'm going to create the floor here. Okay, and I know the floor slab is 12 inches thick because of this cross section that was given to me. There's the floor slab at the bottom, 12 inches thick, as well as here, it's 12 inches thick, and so on. So there you go. That is the first floor. Okay, I'm gonna treat this as the ground floor, and then I'm gonna take this object here. Okay, I'm gonna group it so it's one entity. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and copy it. So I'm gonna press Control, and I'm gonna copy it along the red axis. There is my main or my lower level, and then I'm going to do the same thing. Control, copy it, and this will be the upstairs floor. Done. Okay, so let's first this one here. This is going to be the upper floor, or sorry, the lower floor, and you'll notice that on the lower floor right here, there's a bit of okay. There's a couple walls here that we need to identify. So I'm going to click on here. I'm back to SketchUp, sorry, and I'm going to first offset. So the first thing I want to do is I want to retrace. Okay, using a rectangle, I'll retrace this area right here. I am then going to offset that and I'm going to offset it 10 inches, which is the thickness of the wall. Okay, and lastly, I'm going to use my tool, my measuring tape. I'm going to click on here, and I'm going to drag it across 8 feet. Okay, and that's where I should start my line. So I'm going to start my line there. I'm going to drag it along the X, or along the green axis, 24 inches. And then I'm going to drag it all the way across till it hits this edge. And you can see it's red axis, so I know it's horizontal to the front. Okay, good. And then I'm simply going to take my magic tool. I'm going to go and click here, and I'm going to just go across here by 4.5 to measure. Okay, and I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to drag, and this should be 24 minus 4.5. Okay, so that is 19.5 inches. And then I'll go from here. Okay, and I'm going to drag it all the way to this edge right there. Okay, looks like I accidentally drew an edge there that I can get rid of. There we go. Alright, so now I'm ready. Okay, so if you take a look at that, okay, I've got all my now. I can also go in here, zoom in, and take away this edge as well. And I'll take away that edge, that little trim there. And I can now go ahead, if I look at the drawing, I can now go ahead, I'm going to extrude this, or give it a height of 9 feet. Okay, this is the lower level. Okay, so I'm going to click on to push pull, click on this area right here, and I'm going to drag that up 9 feet. There you go. So I've got my floor, and I've got my walls. Okay, now for the main floor, ground floor, if I look at the floor plan there, okay, a couple more things going on. Okay, you can see it's got the same footprint, but you can see that there's a stairwell here. Okay, as well as the storefront starts 3 feet inwards. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's draw this. Okay, so I'm going to start by creating this rectangle, just like that. So there's a face on top there. I'm going to offset this. There's the edge. I'm going to offset it 10 inches, just like that. Okay, and I'm going to create that stairwell area here. So again, I'm going to get my measuring tape, and I'm going to see where that stairwell is. Okay, so if I zoom up to this, okay, you can see from the front it's 3 feet. Let's see. Alright, so there's my wall. I need to make a wall there, a wall here. Okay, so you can see it's stepped in 3 feet. So I should, what we should probably do is, why don't we extrude this? But let me see how high we need to extrude it. This is also 9 feet. Okay, and then eventually inside it's going to be 10 feet. Okay, so I'm going to extrude it by 10 feet. Okay, so right here, click on there, and I'm going to extrude this 10 feet, just like that. Okay, and I'm now going to create, okay, I'm going to push this back 3 feet. Now to push this back 3 feet, what I want to do is I want to scroll to there. I want to use my push pull tool, click on this, and I'm going to move this back 36 inches or 3 feet. There we go. Okay. Also, what I want to do is I'll go to the front. Okay. And I want to draw a rectangle here. okay, that I'm going to be able to push back, because this wall, the two walls are still on the sides, as you can see in this drawing here. These two walls are still on the side, so I just want to push back this area here by 3 feet. Okay, so I'm going to use my tool. I'm going to click on here. Oh, not there. I want to make sure. I'll zoom in. I'll click on here, and I want to go across uh, by 10 inches. That's the thickness of the wall. Okay, and I want to do the same thing over here. I want to put a guide point 10 inches away from there. There we go. So now I can draw a rectangle from this guide point here to this guide point here. Perfect. And then now I'm going to use my extrude, and I'm going to move that back, okay, or my push pull, and move it back 36 inches. Perfect. Okay. Alright, now what I can do is I can take a look here, okay, and I can see that this, okay, so I've just created that wall right here, okay, and you can see that wall is actually 4.5 inches, it's not 10 inches, okay, but so what I should do is I should move this wall in the back 4.5 inches forward, okay, so I'm going to orbit. I'm going to look at the back here, because you can see this is a 10-inch wall, but it should only be 4.5 inches. So I'm going to move this back by 5.5 inches. So I'm going to click here and move it back 5.5 inches. So there we go. Okay, I could double check the thickness of this wall just by using my measure tool. I click there. You can see that's 4.5 inches. So that's perfect. Okay, I can orbit around now, and now I can prepare to create, okay, these other walls.